Jumbo, fellow adventurers, happy Friday. Thank you all for the referring of my videos, the interaction, the notes you leave me below. They all make such a big difference. And I'm so glad that 2 days ago, the talk I gave on reprogramming from trauma, past trauma, has become so popular. So it's your interaction, your comments, your sharing that make a difference. Thank you so much. And thanks for the stars. All right, today another very sensitive topic, but it seems like there's an appetite out there to hear from a CPA on the quagmire of the mind. And this one is on forgiveness. And what I first have to share with you may sound very, very naive, in fact, even abrasive, if not insulting, but please hear me out. Forgiveness is a moot point, is completely unnecessary forever and ever, unless there has first been blame. Don't blame, nothing to forgive. Now, I know that hurts, and I know that that is really out there for many. I remember when it kind of first came to me, I was connecting the dots and then finally filled with illumination. You have to look at this from two different angles. Okay, there's the physical world, the primitive world we now live in. And if somebody has violated you, has trespassed against you, has done something inappropriate in a small way or a big way, it is on them. And I heartily suggest and recommend, after deep reflection and going within, to seek recourse through law and order, should this be the extremity of the case, and press charges, file a lawsuit, do whatever you feel compelled to do. Because nothing I'm about to say or that I just said justifies or excuses the poor behavior of other people. It happens all the time. Such poor behavior, it is not acceptable. We live in a primitive world where there is a rule of law that benefits all of us. One day there will be a rule of love, and that'll be a whole nother orbit. But for right now, you deal with where you are, with what you have. And so from that level, from the human level, if there has been a violation, and if you feel called to press charges or to confront or, to move accordingly, by all means, you can and very likely should do that. But these kind of conversations aren't about retribution. They're about recovery, peace in the present, and moving forward deliberately, reclaiming your power. And the best way, and the only way, you're going to be able to move past an earlier violation or trespass against you is if you reconcile at the deepest levels with a spiritual perspective to realize that we are all creators, that the thing that happened, if you will, to have to be very careful with my words here, in a realm where you knew in advance the probabilities, and for whatever reason, perhaps as a volunteer, you stepped forward, perhaps to help others avoid the same kind of torment that you experienced. Volunteer, an angel, a being of light. If you fall the way of saying, I'm an innocent victim, words that don't make sense in a spiritual context, and please, for reference, see my April 7th spiritual tune-up, where I specifically talked about how some people accuse teachers like myself of blaming the victim. Nobody's blaming the victim. But if you want to remove yourself from the burden of prior trauma or prior violations, you need to see with spiritual lenses that you were not a victim, you were a participant, you were a co-creator, and there could have been many profound reasons that escape your awareness for you to be in harm's way at that time. If you choose to see the circumstances as, bad things happening to good people, and you therefore believe you live in a world where random bad things can happen to any good person for no reason or rhyme, then you will perpetuate those types of occurrences upon you because you believe that life is random, because you believe that there's such a thing as an unfortunate accident, because you believe that other people have power over you. You've got to get past that. You've got to see that you're a divine, sacred creator. As I said just the other day, it's not so much about figuring out or explaining how or why you were violated, okay, as it is living the best of your life from this day forward. You can always look back in hindsight to try to have or assign meaning to what it was you experienced. But for now, it's game on. You still have life. You still have infinite possibilities. And if you want to ascend back to your throne, you must realize that words like victim and blame do not serve you. If you blame beyond the court system, then you're surrendering your power, and you would then be, based on your beliefs, vulnerable for reoccurrences from other so-called accidents, from other situations unforeseen. This is also in alignment with how and why do things happen in our life that I spoke to last week that we didn't think about ahead of time. So the baseline here is with a spiritual lens. Forgiveness is a moot point, is not necessary unless you have first blamed. Don't blame. Move beyond it. It's different than the court system. Just realize you are a co-creator. Don't know why you would have participated in such a hideous occurrence, but for what's important now, you are ascending to your throne in power, in truth, and the rest of your life will be the best of your life because your thoughts become things. You are here to succeed. Your default setting is harmony, and to not be violated, and to not have these things show up. And so long as you stay in your power, which comes from staying in the truth, you will not cross paths with such dirty deed doers in the future. Again, not an easy message. I am not justifying former violations, present violations, future violations. There's no excuse. Press charges, avoid, do whatever you can. But if you want salvation, if you want peace of mind, if you want to rock the rest of your life, claim your power, understand the truth, and begin designing your future with new end results and an understanding that you live in a beautiful, safe, loving world. If this hit a nerve in a good way, please tell your friends, share, like, interact, tell me where you're from. I'm looking at all of your comments. If you want more of this kind of programming, if you will, that's not the best word, but in just a week, approximately, I am launching with my team and Hope Koppelman the 21-day visualization project. 21 days in a row, I'm going to walk you through a guided visualization for about 5 minutes every day on a different topic. I'm going to show you how to frame your end results. I'm going to show you how to be convinced of your power. I'm going to give you a framework so that you can create a ritual if you like. You can use my material that I'd be sharing with you, and you can craft your own material. It is for the price of an expensive latte. It is very cheap. Click the link below or swipe up on Instagram. In my bio, there's a link to the 21-day visualization project. Can't wait for that to begin. In the meantime, have an awesome weekend. Much love from Orlando, Florida. May all that you wish for be the least you receive. Tally ho!